Okay, I know that I'm gonna read this and it turns out they're both gonna be 100% straight, and when they fix the timeline and Rose exists again, Scorpius is gonna marry Rose, and then when he gets old enough for her, Albus is gonna marry Delphi, and nothing is going to happen with them. Alright, so fine, it's okay to be you can be platonically heartbroken. I mean, it's on both freaking sides, okay? Albus looks up at Scorpius and his heart breaks. Scorpius is left looking up after him, heartbroken. I mean, come on, I'm not making this shit up, alright? They clearly love each other, so what the hell? What are we so afraid of? Just make them make out already, come on. I'm not making this stuff up. I don't know. I mean, again, I'm getting my hopes up, but I'm if I had to put money on it, I would think that I'm wrong. I do not think that anything is going to happen between them. Not so much because I think anyone, I'm going to be the first to admit that I have an obsession with, male-male relationships. It's, since I was 14, they have fascinated me, and I've, convinced myself that many fictional characters are gay, and all that kind of stuff. And I loved, reading gay fiction, and I have spent many, many hours of my life writing /fan fiction. So yes, I mean, I am biased, and I will look for any indication that characters, mostly, male characters, I don't know why, female doesn't interest me so much, but, so I will, look for any sort of indication, and I see it whether it's there or not. I'm the first to admit that, but I'm not making this stuff up. Anyway, so yes, I am biased in favor of, male-on-male gay relationships. But society, in general, I think still at this point in 2016 is still less comfortable with that concept, especially in children's stories. It's just seen still by so many people. I think even people who are not against gay marriage, I think the idea of exposing our children to homosexual relationships frightens them for some reason. And not that I think Harry Potter and the Cursed Child is a children's book, but I think it's, the Harry Potter franchise started out, I think, as intended for children. I mean, by the time we get to Deathly Hallows and stuff, that's pretty adult there. I mean, I think the books grew with the readers, all right? I am totally the Harry Potter generation. When the first book came out, I was about 7. I didn't get it. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't really get into it, I think, until I was maybe 9 or so. I know by the time I was 10, that was when the first movie came out, or well, maybe I was 11 by then, but the first movie was in the process of coming out. It was being filmed, you'd heard about it, and that was also when the 4th book came out. I think the 4th one was the first one that I was excited for and wasn't, I think by the time I got into it, the first 3 were already out, because the first 3 those are the ones I have on paperback. So I think the 4th would have been the first one that we pre-ordered. I don't remember exactly. So I must have been 9 when I started getting into them. And then by the time I was, 10, 11, I was completely into them. And then, obviously when Deathly Hallows came out, I was 17. And so I was much older. And so were the characters. Yeah, I was the same age as the characters when that came out. Oh, that's so funny. I must have been so excited about it at the time. I don't remember where I was going with this. Just that, all right, maybe when Sorcerer's Stone came out, it was intended for 7 to 10-year-olds, but I think by the time Deathly Hallows came out, it was intended for the same audience who was now 17 to 20. I don't think it, I just think that was how it kind of was. So, I mean, when I went to the release party for this, there were plenty of children there, not young children, but, 9, 10, 11 or so. So, anyway, so this is still, I mean, I wouldn't say it's a children's book, but I wouldn't say it's an adult book either necessarily. I'm not sure. I mean, see, the problem is, like, Harry Potter doesn't even have a target audience anymore because it's so huge. So many generations are fans. But anyway, so society, are you okay? Society in general has a problem exposing our children to homosexual relationships, was basically what I was saying. Anytime, the few times that a children's TV show has had, relationships, it's been like a huge thing. So anyway, so I could see arguments against the decision to make Albus and Scorpius, or anyone else, any other of these characters, have, and not just implied, but actually explicitly saying that they are in a romantic relationship, would be a problem, and they would argue against that just because, but I want to think that they're better than that. J.K. Rowling and, these other two guys, John Tiffany and Jack Thorne, I don't know anything about them. I don't know if either of them are gay. I mean, I know, like, in theater, lots of, I think theater has lots more gay men than straight men, but I don't know anything about these guys. So I don't know. I don't know if it was something that came up and was decided against, or maybe it will happen and I'll, be right all along, but I don't think so, just, because I've said this at the outset, the book's been out for almost a week now, and I have not heard any spoilers about that on the internet, and I feel like if two of the main characters, I mean, I think Albus is the main character in this, if Albus had a gay relationship, I'm sure that the internet would have told me about it against my will. So, and since I've not heard about it, I mean, I would have been disappointed to hear about it rather than reading it for myself, but I still would have been so excited. But since I have not heard anything, I don't think it's going to happen, and that makes me, disappointed, obviously. And, I mean, why? Are we just afraid of exposing our children to that? And, if so, why? I'm not even going to go into that. But this was just a very long ramble, and I need to get back to my book, which is why I'm here. So let's do that.